What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show. And we're already seeing massive warnings for 2023. Take a look. Yeah, the International Monetary Fund Chief Director warns of a tough year for the world economy and predicts that 1/3 of the world will be in a recession for 2023. This is billions of people, not millions with an M, but billions with a B. Yeah, and we'll talk about here what this means for the US as well. But when we're talking about 1/3 of the entire world to be in a recession, this is not an ordinary recession. This is a global pandemic, basically, of economics. And we have a pandemic, really, that's still going on. I mean, I know a lot of people want the pandemic to be gone here as well. But I mean, if you know, our family just caught the virus here not too long ago. And that's still going on. And now we're having a recession, interest rate hikes out of control. In 2022, interest rates for mortgages went from 3% or a little bit under to 7%. Now the Fed and the Federal Reserve is basically saying that they're going to continue raising interest rates here, at least for the first part of 2023, which is going to make it even harder on Americans. That's right. So we're going to see mortgage rates go higher, car loans and car leases, car rates go even higher, credit card interest rates go higher. Remember, credit card interest rates are already at their highest they have ever been, ever. So the average credit card interest rates are around 20%. That means 20% interest you're paying every single year. The highest credit card interest rates, if you have bad credits or just have a bad credit card, are around 35, 36%. That means you're paying that percentage on interest every single year. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So just to kind of give you a quick detail on that, that means if you have $10,000 in credit card debt, and you have an average credit card interest rate, that means you're paying 20% of that in interest every year. So $2,000 in interest every single year. You're paying that $2,000 in interest every year. And you still owe the $10,000. And now the Fed's going to raise interest rates yet again, potentially in January and in March. So I'll keep you up to date here on that. We'll see. But it seems like there's no relief here in sight for Americans or for the rest of the world. Because if we're talking about 1/3 of the world is going to be in a recession or already is, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. And if you've seen my recent video here, you can go check out that on my YouTube channel here from just a few days ago. Drivers could see gas prices surge to nearly $7 a gallon in some U.S. states as refinery issues bite supply and Chinese demand bounces back. An analyst at GasBuddy says, and this is all GasBuddy does, is they literally just analyze gas prices and oil prices, particularly in, high gas price states like California and a couple of the other ones. They've seen gas prices at or near $7 a gallon last year, particularly in June when we were at the highest prices ever. China is a big catalyst here because they have 4 times the population of the U.S., over 1 billion people. And remember, they've been in lockdown for many months here. I want to say most of the year, 2022. And well, now they're coming out of lockdown. And what do you think that's going to do for the price of oil and the price of gas worldwide? That's going to send the demand for their oil, but really the global oil supply and gas supply, it's going to send it up because they're going to instantly, and they are instantly starting to use more oil and more gas because Well, almost a billion people are going to start traveling more, just going to work, going back, and just going around town and around these cities more. So they're already starting to use more, and when you use more and more and more, there's more demand for it, and all of a sudden the demand for it goes up, and well, yeah, the price goes up. And we're already starting to see this in the oil markets. And when the price goes up, it goes up everywhere. The oil market goes up everywhere. Yeah, and this is why it's affecting the US. We've already seen the price of oil here surge to, remember, this was down to $70 a barrel. It's now up to $80 and $86 a barrel. So we've seen it surge pretty quickly here. It really hasn't moved since New Year's Day, and really January 2nd was also a holiday pretty much. So it hasn't really gone up here in 2 days, as you can see. But so yeah, it's pretty much surged a lot. And US gas prices also going up pretty much every single day here. You can see we've gone up 11 cents in the last week, which is not a good trend. We were going down. We had gone down, what is that, 34 cents in a month? Well, now we've gone up. We're going up 11 cents a week now. So we're basically negating everything we had lost, and we're reversing the trend now. We're going up instead of down. So it's not a good trend to see gas prices going up instead of down. It was a nice reprieve. We have a lot of states that are in the $2-ish gas range, paying $2 and something per gallon. But unfortunately, now the price of gas is going down, going up instead of down. So, yeah, and that's just it's gonna hurt the low-income people and mid-income people the most. Yeah. And if you think that's bad, we all know the price of food is really bad, right? Well, that could get even worse. Take a look at this. Yeah, farmers predict the worst food shortages and higher prices in 2023 amid inflation, drought, and interest rate hikes. The U.S. is in the midst of a major food insecurity threat, Tennessee dairy farmers are saying. Yeah. So this is causing major problems for farmers. Higher prices in 2023, food shortages because of inflation, drought, and interest rate hike. And we know the drought has been a problem all throughout really 2022 and even going forward. California has had a major drought issue. It's been a massive problem here. Listen to this, quote, "I definitely think we have a food security threat," says Stephanie Nash, a Tennessee farmer and agricultural advocate, told Fox News. Quote, "I believe 2023 is going to be rough, worse than 2022. Food prices have been outpacing overall inflation in 2022. November food prices showed a 10.6% increase compared to last year, while overall inflation was 7.1%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics." Yeah, so this is one of the major problems here is that food prices have not been going down, but going up. Yeah. And as you can see here, a number of factors have been contributing to rising food prices, including fertilizer prices and fuel shortages, extreme weather conditions, and rising interest rates, because a lot of these farmers have to borrow money to pay for this stuff, in an industry that relies on debt financing. Quote, "2022 was a really hard year," the 29-year-old said. "I think there's going to be a lot of food shortages next year for sure." Quote, "We're going to have a supply chain shortage. We're going to have an increase in our food prices at the grocery store," she added. I don't think it's going to go down anytime soon. And I think Americans are really going to be hurting in their wallet. This is because most farmers take out short-term variable rate loans each year to pay for everything from seed and fertilizer, livestock, and machinery, according to the Department of Agriculture. And as a result, the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate increases, which has increased by 4.25%, has raised their cost of farming. And thus, that cost has to be passed on to you, the consumer, the person who buys the food. So that's one of the reasons why costs are increasing. That 4.25% cost directly probably gets passed on to you. Also, the cost of gas, the cost of diesel. I mean, I was literally driving out the other day, and diesel was about double the price of gas. So I have seen gas for about $2.99 here recently, but or even actually a little bit lower here recently. But, of course, we know gas is starting to go back up. But I had seen diesel for $5.99. $5.99. So think about that. Almost everything gets shipped to the store via a diesel semi-truck. So when you're seeing diesel for $6 a gallon, what do the semis fill up with? When they ship food, when they ship groceries, when they ship goods, when they ship clothing, when they ship anything you buy from Walmart or Costco, Sam's Club, any store at all, chances are it got delivered via a semi-truck, which is diesel. And they charge to deliver anything. So all that basically has diesel surcharges built into it. And this is part of the reason why food and everything is basically going up in price. And until this gets relieved, if ever, we're going to see high charges. We might not ever see this stuff go down. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think food prices are going to come down in 2023? Or do you think this is the new norm? So that's the problem here. And this is why if you've been watching my channel, we had seen gas prices come down here recently. We're starting to see them go up. I said even before they started to go up, I just don't trust the gas and oil industry. They're always trying to get more money out of us. And I just don't think they're going to stay down for long term. I mean, when I was in high school, gas was under $1, 99 cents. And I just, we had hit $5, in June on an average, in California, even higher. And I just don't think that long term gas prices are going to stay, in the $2 to $3 range. I just think long term, I mean, if in 20 years we went from being under $1 to being at $4 or $5 range, where are we going to be in another 20 years? Just look at the long-term trend. No matter who the president is, Republican, Democrat, Biden, Trump, Clinton, Bush, whoever the president is, these gas and oil companies are trying to wring us for every dollar we have. And really, I showed you the oil production here of the U.S., and you could see our weekly oil production here of the U.S. So we're almost at all-time highs. I mean, we're a little bit below where we were right before the drop of the pandemic here. You can see. So we were at 13,000 barrels per day. This is what the U.S. produces, okay? Right before the pandemic. So this is when Trump was president. This is why really I don't think it matters who's the president, Republican, Democrat. And then when the pandemic hit, we dropped all the way down to 10,000 barrels per day. And it stayed that way while Trump was president. And then Biden became president here, and it was 10,900 barrels per day when Biden became president, okay? And then it's gone up, the oil production per day since Biden's become president, and it's now 12,200 barrels per day. Okay, so the oil production, I have to reset that there, has actually gone up since Biden has become president, despite what a lot of people think. Again, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. This is why I just like to show people kind of our, statistics on like what actually happens in the world and what actually happens here in our country. Okay. So when the pandemic hit, the oil production plummeted because demand went down, and it's actually gone up. But the reality of it is gas and oil prices have gone up because largely is what has happened with Ukraine, Russia, and the oil supply and demand over there and the constraint problems. We see here headlines like this: Putin bans Russian oil exports to countries that implement the price caps, and all the turmoil with oil supply over there. And this has largely sent oil prices kind of in fluctuation here for a while now. But the US is actually producing more oil than the day Biden came in office. But yet we continue to see prices go up. So really, you got to look at where we are over the 20-year trend. No matter who's the president, Republican, Democrat, whoever, 20 years ago, gas was 99 cents. Now it's $3-4. Okay. And, where are we going to be in 20 more years? I mean, we were just at $5 a gallon here in June on the average. Okay. 5.01 was the average in June. And so we went from $1 to $5. And, years ago, it was even $4 here when we hit a high, several years ago. So where are we going to be in another 20 years? Are we going to be at $7, $8 a gallon? Probably. Again, no matter who the president is, you can just see the inflation over time. This is why people don't like gas and oil. This is why people are switching to electric vehicles or hybrids, because it costs a lot less to charge your EV. And I get that electric costs are going up. And the reason why the electric cost is going up is because natural gas. Yeah, 40% of the electric that you pay for is by natural gas, but it still actually costs less. This is why people are putting solar panels on their homes. This is why governments are switching to solar, wind, and nuclear, because it costs less. But either way, we're in for potentially a rough 2023. And people are trying to figure out ways to save money one way or another. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date. We're all trying to do our best to figure out what to do. What are you going to do here in 2023? What are your best tips? Comment down below, and maybe as a community, we'll see what happens. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And you can also click here to see 6 new Social Security changes that just went into effect here like yesterday. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.